Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back to Poppy Culture Podcast, episode 222. I'm Jay.
I'm Adrian, and we're back for another week of comic books, TV, video games,
Concert, music.
Important whiskey.
Okay.
Now, you will see I have a hidden bottle here.
I literally don't know what we're drinking.
Because I saw this,
Okay.
and as you know, we're finishing our Jim Beam month.
Right.
In August.
Much delayed. Sorry about that.
Which means we actually can extend it because there are two other Jim Beams.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Okay, we're going to keep the Jim Beam rolling. But this time, what we are having is Jim Beam, the Devil's Cut.
Oh, okay. Great. I'm excited about this because I've had this and I enjoy this.
Oh, have you had it?
Yeah.
Oh.
You have not, though.
I've not.
No, because I remember when we were first talking about Jim Beam, I brought up Devil's Cut and you're like, I haven't had it.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, the Devil Cut is actually extracted from the barrel walls and then cut with their tradition. So, I'll read you the label. Legacy. While bourbon ages and the angels share evaporations, some also remains trapped inside the barrel. This is the Devil's Cut. We extract this dark and intense liquid from our charred white oak barrel walls and blend it with extra aged bourbon. So it's what's extracted from the barrels with the black.
Yep.
That's the Devil's Cut. The Devil's Cut's a pretty common term around the world.
Yes.
It means it's his share. So that's what this is. Extra age in the heart of Kentucky. Jim Beam's Devil Cut straight bourbon is made for those who take their whiskey seriously.
So, we're still kind of in the summer months here.
We are.
So it's a little warm in our filming location.
A little bit.
So we have some ventilation going on.
Yes.
In the form of an oscillating fan.
Yes.
And it just happens to be bringing this great aroma right in.
Whiskey smell.
Ah, missed this.
All right. So,
All right.
You know, it's funny because I poured it earlier and I've been sitting here. I had my laptop and I was working. I was just like, you know, I could probably just have one now because it smells so good. I'm like, no. All
right.
So, neat for me, neat for you, and then my on ice here.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoy that.
Oh, I do like the Devil's Cut.
Okay, so this is your first time with Devil's Cut.
Going
back to the fact that we're in our Jim Beam period.
Era. It's our Jim Beam era.
Where do you rank this on your list? Do you remember where you were before we did
do.
this?
Now, I was actually thinking about bringing them all back so we can just keep drinking them all.
We really should.
Yeah, they're right. So before I go into that, not what I was expecting from a Devil's Cut.
No.
It is super smooth when you drink it, and it's right here in the bottom of my throat. The burn creeps in on me.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Well, because you're thinking, okay, it's coming from the actual barrel walls itself, so it's probably gonna have an extra woody taste, which there is definitely a little bit of an undertone of the oak in there more, but it's definitely when I first thought it, I was expecting it to be very harsh because of that.
Yeah, but no.
But you're right. It's definitely smooth, and I think adding it, doing the blend with the age to the black, helps with that. But yeah, I enjoy this.
I like it.
I can't take any of the advertising for it seriously, because it's Mila Kunis doing all the Jim Beam advertising now.
Oh, I'm so glad I haven't seen that.
So she talks about the Devil's Cut, and I'm like, no, got nothing. But it's good whiskey.
So I will say this about the Jim Beam's Devil Cut. I bet you if it was not Jim Beam, if it was literally the brand was just called Devil's Cut, people would like it so much more.
Oh, absolutely.
People frown upon it instantly because it is Jim Beam.
Yeah.
So here's where I say Ghost.
Okay.
Devil's Cut.
Okay.
Black Rye Traditional.
Okay. I don't remember what I was before.
You had Ghost at top. I know
had
that
Ghost,
much.
and then Rye.
I think you went Rye then Black.
Yeah, because you went Black then Rye, right? Okay, yeah. So I was Ghost, Rye, Black. Okay, so this is number 2 now. Whatever.
Agreed.
This is number 2. Not as good as the Ghost, but still a very delicious bourbon.
Very, very mild on ice, though.
Yeah, well.
Oh, it's only one ice cube. Interesting.
Okay.
Okay. So I have some country traveled alcohol talk really fast.
Okay, fantastic.
So let's.
Oh, I haven't talked about.
No, we haven't really talked about a lot of stuff.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
So let's start with. We've talked since I came back from San. I put a speed pour on that son bitch. You go to town, brother.
I saw that.
We've talked since I came back from San Diego.
You and I have talked. Have we talked on air?
I believe once.
Okay.
I was then in San Francisco, and then I was in Boston.
Right.
So let's talk about some of the alcohol in San Francisco.
Okay, this is a place that you and I have been to together also.
San Francisco.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
This was a very different experience being there for a wedding.
No hurricanes this time?
No. Although we discussed the hurricane.
I think it was a faulty trip for not getting a hurricane.
I couldn't get over to that pier.
Okay.
Because where we were, it was by literally the first pier on the other side of San Francisco.
All right.
Not only that, I didn't have a car.
We made an Uber driver friend down there.
Yeah. Part of the wedding party, too.
Yeah,
so then I was
know.
obliged to do all these other things.
Sure.
But, so I didn't drink. I did not drink until the night of the wedding.
Really?
And at the night of the wedding, I had a
Lagunitas.
whatever, IPA, which those of you who like it, stop liking it.
I know.
It's
not the worst IPA I ever had, but it's still an IPA.
I've had good IPAs. One of those I will talk about.
Okay.
This was not one of them. It's average. But then I ordered a Maker's Mark Old Fashioned, easy on the bitters.
Okay.
And it was a good Old Fashioned.
Good.
Guy next to me ordered a Cognac Old Fashioned.
Sorry, what?
Cognac Old Fashioned. So the reception was held at a French restaurant. That's one of their specialty cocktails.
Sure.
And he took one hit off it. He's like, we just got to work through this together. He's like, it's just too sweet. It's too sweet.
I was really hoping you were going to say it was good because I have a bottle of cognac that I don't know what to do with.
So here's the thing. I think it would have been good, but you know how in Old Fashions they add a teaspoon of sugar?
Yeah.
Do it and don't add the sugar.
I see where you're coming from. Okay.
So then he had mine. He's like, I respected you when you ordered it. Our boy Aziz.
Oh, yeah.
I did not realize Aziz, huge into bourbon.
Really?
So we went through probably about 7 different types of bourbon that night, just going to town. And as I was talking to his wife, and she's like, he literally has like 25 bottles at the house.
I have a new respect for him.
Such a new level of respect for Aziz. So we're talking, and he's all like, "Yeah." He's like, when you get back into town, let's just do a burger and bourbon night. He's like, Katie's gonna be gone for like 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, Aziz, we're gonna do this.
So when are we going to Aziz's house?
I gotta text him on from work related stuff. I'm gonna throw that in there too.
All right, cool.
Because he doesn't want a burger and bourbon night.
No, that sounds like every night of the week.
Yeah. That's the goal.
Okay.
So we tried a couple different bourbons, and then I can really remember, but it got me on the bourbon train for when we went to Boston.
Okay.
And I quickly got off the bourbon train.
Ooh.
So I went to this place called the Whiskey Priest.
Sure.
Huge selection of whiskeys. Not quite Oak Room, but real close. Real close. And then I saw the prices of what they were charging for whiskey. So at the hotel bar, I ordered a bourbon, a shot of bourbon, and a beer.
Okay.
And I said, "What's your whiskey?" And she said, "Jameson."
Jackpot.
Sure. I'm like, give me a Jameson and give me a Goose Island IPA, which that's a callback to the earlier IPA. You want a good fucking IPA, you drink Goose Island.
Fair enough. Which is very accessible now.
It doesn't have to be the only beer you drink, but it is the best, which is their slogan. Now,
okay, so you got a Goose Island IPA with a bourbon back.
What would you think the charge for those 2 items should be?
Well, if they are calling Jameson their
which they were, and $1 off for the Goose Island because it was happy hour.
Okay, so I'm saying you shouldn't be paying more than $5 for the whiskey, and if it's a beer on happy hour, $3.50. So I'm saying that should come out no more than $9.
$9 for the whiskey, $11 for the beer.
Whoa! 11 for the beer?
11 for the fucking beer.
Was this Did it come in a boot like in Vegas? What is...
Just got me a pint.
Fuck that. Done. Out.
That's what I said. I didn't... Who looks at the price of a fucking draft beer and happy hour? Nobody.
And you should never pay more for a draft beer than you do for, I mean, I guess maybe for a well, but
not for a shot of Jameson.
No.
I paid $10 for the nachos after I added chicken and extra guacamole to them.
Yeah, fuck that. Damn you, whiskey priest.
So they also were charging $13 for a Maker's Mark. So what I wanted, the Jameson Caskmates, $19. 19 motherfucking dollars.
I paid $2 more than that. I own a fucking bottle of that. Why am I going to pay that for a shot?
And the place is packed and just pouring like nobody's fucking business. And I found out why. So the next night, I went to the hotel bar to get some dinner because it was like 11:30 when I got back to the hotel room.
Okay.
And I was looking at the beer prices. I'm like, fuck, why? He's all like, you're not from here, huh? I go, no. He goes, he's like, this area is a drinking area. You drink here. He's like, and people will pay to drink here. He goes, they won't pay to eat. He's like, food prices they're high. He's like, for the rest of the country, but not high for Boston. He goes, but they will fucking pay to drink. We can charge whatever we want, and they will fucking drink. And I'm all like, God damn. So I ordered another beer, $13.
No.
But it was a delightful beer.
Yeah, but at that point,
not
$13. Find a mini
mark. I agree. I agree. So the beer I had in Boston, I told you, was a gin brewed Pilsner. So they brewed it with the juniper berries and everything.
Yeah.
That's then aged in tequila barrels.
Right.
Fucking delightful.
Okay.
Really good
Worth
beer.
the $13?
No.
Okay.
But if I was somewhere else and the growler fill was 13,
oh, absolutely.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Do you ever figure out who the brewer was on that?
It's Select 79. It's a local, small.
Okay. So
small
probably
thing.
nothing that I could find around here.
No.
No.
No. So that was my drinking abroad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I also made a trip recently.
To where I'm going next.
Yes. Which, I wouldn't mind going back, but whatever.
I tried to get you to go to Boston with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't really work. I was in Atlanta and Nashville. Atlanta was fucking whatever. It's not. I mean, It's not great, but there was some cool stuff there. But I did find a interesting local brewery called Torched Hop.
Yes.
Which, if you get a chance, I recommend you go there. They do kind of their own like experimental beers, and they've all got catchy names or whatever. I think one of them had like. I feel like one of them had avocado in it or apricot. No, it had apricot, which is the other thing that I don't eat. But there was a beer on the menu called Yam It Bobby, which I can only imagine is like a reference to King of the Hill that I don't get.
Damn it, Bobby.
Yeah, but it's Yam It because in the mash they add 100 pounds of sweet potatoes.
Weird.
Super weird. Fucking delicious. Probably one of the best new beers I've had in a couple years.
Interesting.
And I think I told you I tried to go back a second time, and that keg that they had made had kicked, so I couldn't get another one. But it seemed like it was kind of a thing they do often, so there'll probably be more. So definitely check it out when you're down there.
So I'm gonna check that out.
Okay.
Like I'm looking forward to trying it.
And even the other beers that I had, they had a stout, they had a session, they had a couple other things. They were good. That was just the one that really stood out to me. And then I drove up to Nashville, this close to stopping at Jack Daniel's, just because it was there. But I'm like, no, I just really want to get into Nashville, check into the hotel, and then go hang out.
All right. So after that Price is Right moment, and I apologize, folks, I needed a moment to reflect. Because I don't want to tell you how to do your vacation, but literally dumbstruck. Like, I think I paused it in time before I hit the ground.
Yeah.
You went to Nashville and didn't have Nashville hot chicken, and you didn't go to Jack Daniel's.
No, but I was only on the ground there for about 20 hours. So when I go back for a week in March or April, when I'm planning a full trip there, I will hit up like 3 or 4 hot chicken places. I'll do a couple of, I'll hit Jack Daniel's and, there's another one right by Jack Daniel's that I can't think of.
Evan Williams.
No.
Dickel.
Dickel's right there too.
But you had 20 hours, right? So the way I see it is for 16 of those, you could have been at Jack Daniels, and for 4 hours, you could have been passed out in your car.
Fair enough. But no, one of the things that I was surprised about in Nashville was that Jack Daniels is their well whiskey there, which, I mean, it makes sense. It's local. They probably get a good tax break because
I'm sure.
not going across state lines and like that. But I don't know the last time I paid $2 for a Jack Daniels.
I like to think, I know it's not true, but in my mind, that it's still prohibition. So they still like sneak barrels into the bars from the distillery.
Right. But no, I mean, we got to see some cool stuff. We did the Johnny Cash Museum while we were there.
Awesome.
That was good. And then we went down on Broadway, which is their kind of main live music strip. And it's like 8 blocks of nothing but bars, and every bar has a stage. And they start doing live music at 10 a.m. and they go till 2 or 3 in the morning. So super cool.
Okay.
I would go back. 10 out of 10. Would do it again.
Nice.
But yeah, really all I drank there was whiskey.
Yeah. And?
Yeah.
Yeah, and?
Yeah.
That's great.
So.
All right. I'm going to put this away because there's a lot of messages from my boss I don't want to look at right now.
Which he'll know when he watches this episode.
Dude, don't text me while I'm recording. 2 rules, okay? Don't text me before 6 a.m. Don't text me while I'm recording. I like when you text me when I'm drunk because I get real sassy with them.
All right, so do you want to move into things that we consumed over the last
Let's move into some
3 weeks?
Yeah, so I actually limited it to just the past week for me because I've been watching so much. You don't have to.
My list of everything I watched this last time I recorded isn't that much because it was a lot of episodes of a few things.
Right, there you go.
So.
Why don't you go ahead and start with your TV?
All right, so the wife and I got caught up on Preacher. We're fully caught up on that. Nashville Season 5 finale happened last week. I haven't read anything about it having been renewed for a new season yet. This was the first season it was on CMT.
Right.
So I wonder if there's kind of maybe not
they're
committed
testing
to it
the
yet.
waters.
Yeah. But if it doesn't come back, that's bullshit because it kind of left with a lot of things up in the air.
Well, I mean, it could just mean that you now have more room in your life for the Arrested Development next season that's coming.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that. Animal Kingdom. Had I started this again?
Yes.
But had I restarted it last time we recorded? That's
no,
what I
but you didn't start it. But
so
you
I'd watched
restart.
like the first 3 episodes on a plane on my way back from France. I went back and started it over. Fucking awesome show.
Okay.
Got all the way through season 1. Season 2 is actually airing right now. I think it's like 12 or 13 episodes. 11 of them have aired. I'm 2 behind. But it's a great show. But a bad thing happened with this show. I was watching an episode and my wife came home.
Oh,
and
no.
I didn't stop it.
But
she says, oh, no, I don't care. Like, you can watch it. I'm no big deal. But when it's on and she's home, she's like, what happened with that? What's going on? And I'm like,
see, that's why. Don't do it.
So,
put on the cans, dude.
But because I am pretty much caught up with it, it's not that big of a deal. Because that just means and the season's almost over. So it's like 1 episode a week I'd have to watch with her instead of, okay, I'm going to watch 8 episodes today, but I got to wait for her to be ready. So that's not so bad. Game of Thrones, caught up on that. It's actually a really good season.
I hear they're testing the boundaries of what people will take for incest and rape this season.
I mean, that's every season. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of jokes about the incest that's happening. So that's good.
Oh, look it. Another whiskey's ready for me.
Watch season 1 of Black Sails.
Oh, you mentioned this.
Yeah.
You said you liked the first couple.
Yeah, so I finished season 1 yesterday. It's a really good show. But it's definitely one that I can't watch with my wife around. Because one of the locations that is a major factor in it is a whorehouse. So obviously, it's stars. They don't give a fuck. They're not censored. So
sure.
You see all kinds of stuff happening. I'm like, yeah, that's not something that I think my wife would appreciate. She had problems with Game of Thrones, the first season or 2, and it's about the same thing. So yeah.
Better than Vikings, though?
It's right up there. They're about even.
Okay.
I think we've talked about this. I think I liked Vikings a little bit more than you have.
I've been enjoying this season. 4 has been good.
Okay. And then we watched a couple more episodes of The Path. We're up to episode 6 of season 1.
Okay.
But we've been real busy with like the traveling and stuff like that, so we kind of dropped off.
at that point, it hasn't even like really hit. Like the crazy shit hasn't quite started just yet. Okay.
And then I don't think I quite finished this last time we recorded, but I finished Community. Like I'm done with it. I think I had like 2 episodes left last time we recorded. I mean, I wasted my time with that last season.
Yeah, you absolutely
But I had to
did.
watch it.
No, you do.
So, I never have to deal with that again, though. So I'm okay with that. And that's all the TV I watched.
Okay. So Archer season 7 is now on Netflix.
Okay.
I watched it. I mean, my wife watched some of the episodes because some of those. So those of you who have never watched Archer, it builds.
Right.
Like every joke references another joke. But there's one episode in season 7 that was so funny. I don't even care if it was out of context. I was like, you have to watch this episode.
Okay.
It's probably the best single episode of Archer I've ever seen. And after that, I've tried to get her to watch Archer. I think we've watched the pilot like 3 times. She's just like, yeah. And after that, she's like, well, I want to watch this show now. Like, now I'm in.
Okay, cool.
So watch season 7
So does that mean
of Archer.
you're going to go back and rewatch from 1?
Yeah, we're about halfway through season. No, we finished season 1. We're now middle of season 2.
Okay, cool.
Rick and Morty, episode 3 for the new season's out. I love Rick and Morty.
I have never watched it.
You need to watch it. The first 2 seasons are on Hulu, or every episode's on Kodi.
That's true.
I roomed with the Castle Lion.
Yeah.
At Atlanta.
Okay.
And he came into the room, and I was watching the first episode.
At Atlanta or at Boston?
Boston, I'm sorry,
Okay.
Boston.
I was like, you haven't gone to Atlanta yet.
We will also room together in
Okay.
Boston, in Atlanta. So he comes in, and I'm watching the first episode, and I'm like, you ever seen this? He goes, no. I'm like, oh, go ahead. I'll rewind it for you. We watched all of season 2.
Okay.
And then we started season 1 because he didn't realize we hadn't started from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So we're going. Love Rick and Morty.
Nice.
Love it. Great show. Now I'm going to switch gears to another show I binged on called The Keepers. Now
I know that name.
It's a documentary on Netflix.
Okay.
It's about 8 hours long.
Okay.
Lindsay and I did this within 36 hours. We watched all 8 hours of this documentary.
What'd you do the other day and a half?
I went to the San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And ate. There was
Right.
some eating involved.
Okay, fair enough.
It's really, really hard to watch. Yeah. Phenomenal, though.
Okay.
So good. So it's all about a nun who was killed in 1969.
Okay.
Named Colleen Cisneros, and nobody knows what happened. So it's this documentary about this nun.
Okay.
And as the documentary started making it, he found out that not only did this nun die who taught at this school, but there was all this alleged sexual abuse.
Oh.
So now the documentary goes this whole different way before it comes back to the nun. You find out it's all connected. The nun found out about the murder, about the rape and all the abuse, went to the diocese, turned up dead. Like all this crazy shit.
Oh, conspiracy in the church.
Oh my God. Blew my motherfucking mind.
Yeah.
It's graphic.
Okay.
Some of the things they say, I don't ever want to hear again.
Oh.
But it's important, and I appreciate that it wasn't done as shock discuss value.
Okay.
It was one of the survivors, which is what you call a rape victim.
Sure. Yeah.
A survivor, telling what happened. So it was all in her own words, and this is what he said to her.
Interesting.
Really good documentary, really hard to swallow.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
I know, and as I was saying that, I was like, don't do it. Have a little bit of class and civility. But I don't.
No.
I saw it harder than she did. Oh, wow. The Devil's Cut's actually going to send me to hell.
Yeah, I mean, not that wasn't a foregone conclusion
obviously,
anyways.
I already know I'm going to go there. Which actually, The Keepers will lead me to one of the podcasts I'm going to talk about. The other 2 shows I'm going to talk about before I get there, though. One is called Friends from College, Netflix original.
Oh, fuck. You watched this?
Oh, yeah. Did you?
No, I watched the trailer, and that was enough.
So I agree. The trailer looked like shit, but I'm like, but it's got Colby Smulders, and it's got Key and or Peele. I don't know which one is which.
Baldwin or not Baldwin?
Baldwin.
That's Key.
Key.
Just figured out yesterday.
Yeah, and it's got them, and this is going to be good, right? No, it's
It is not. Don't watch this shit. Protest with your non-viewing of this shitty show.
Listen to Jay,
Netflix
people.
is spending so much money on original content, but it'd be great if they spent money on good original content.
Hey, there's that one.
I mean, I enjoy House of Cards.
Okay, I mean, there's 2.
Okay.
Voltron, legendary. Oh, 3 and Castlevania. Oh, Castlevania was the shit.
I haven't watched Castlevania yet.
Oh my, Warren Ellis.
No, I know. I've heard.
Oh, so
I've read really amazing things about it, but I haven't got around to it yet.
Do not show your children. The first opening scene is heads on pike, and it just gets bloodier and killier from there.
Sounds great to me.
That was very good.
Okay.
The last show I'll talk about really fast is we did the season finale of American Grit.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. I gave up Battle of the Network Stars.
That's
I gave
true.
up a lot of the shitty ones.
Yeah.
I wanted to see American Grit through.
And was it worth it?
No.
No.
Season 1 was far superior.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
The only other thing with John Cena that I'll be watching is this Sunday, which is SummerSlam.
Did you watch SmackDown last night?
I did.
Did he win?
He did not.
Okay. I can't remember who he...
The modern day Maharaja, Jinder
right.
Mahal.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, that dude is fucking ripped.
Dude, so if you ever look at videos or images from him a year ago, you're like, yeah, you're not roiding hard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I actually spent most of my time in Boston with my buddy who's one of their promoters.
Oh, okay.
So I definitely got a lot of WWE.
Nice.
Like, Ric Flair, prayers are out with you. He's still in a coma after his surgery. Like, he's like, dude, Ric Flair's in surgery. Like, he told me before it was even broke on Twitter or anywhere else.
Oh,
like,
really?
he got a message about it. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so that's it for TV.
I got one TV news we need to talk about.
I also have a streaming news. What's your TV news?
Is your streaming news an Apple thing?
No.
Okay.
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you see this story?
I did.
So Apple has decided they're going to get into the original content business.
Why wouldn't they, Jay? Why wouldn't they?
Did you know they actually have already done 2 original content items?
The iPod and the iPad?
No. Like actual shows.
No, I didn't know.
Are you familiar with Late Night with James Corden?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Carpool Karaoke?
And they made it into a series?
Yeah, I knew that.
It was an Apple Music series.
Oh, I did not know
So, yeah,
that part.
Apple actually was the producers on that. Fucking terrible. And they did one other thing. I don't remember what it is now. But, so Apple let it be known that they are going to invest $1 billion in the next year to produce original content. Nobody knows how the fuck it's going to be accessed yet.
iTunes exclusive.
Probably, which, whatever. But yeah, so they're getting the original content game, and everybody's making a big deal because it's $1 billion. That's so much money to spend on original content.
It's not, though.
You know how much Netflix has said they're spending on their original content?
I think it's 11.7.
No, it's just 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in 2018, Netflix will spend $7 billion on original content. So really, Apple's not doing that much. They'll probably do like 1 or 2 shows. Because then, I'm reading these articles and they throw out the fact that grammatically proper, an episode of Game of Thrones frequently exceeds $10 million. So when you look at production budgets, it's not,
sure.
I mean, $1 billion isn't that much. But it is kind of interesting that they're going to get into the game now.
Do you remember when money used to mean a thing to other people?
Yeah. Now it's ones and zeros. And there was the big news story 2 weeks ago. Netflix comes out saying they're $20 billion in debt. And people are like, how are they even surviving as a company? Well, you got to understand how this shit works.
Yeah.
There's networks. Apple is $1 trillion in debt.
That's fine.
Technically.
It's fine. Technically, Amazon has never actually made a profit.
Yay, Prime. So yeah, that was interesting that just the Apple's getting there. I was having a discussion with the coworkers today. I'm like, it's gonna get to the point though where, for people that have a conscience, they're gonna have to pay Netflix.
Okay.
They're gonna have to pay Hulu. They're
I
gonna
was
have to pay
just
Amazon.
talking to somebody about this. At what point am I better off just going back to cable?
Now. Because if you really are, I mean, obviously you just go back to cable. You're not getting the Netflix content and stuff like that. You're just getting the regular, like, cable content. But
Okay, but what Netflix original do I give a shit about?
Voltron.
Legendary Defenders in Castlevania?
Yeah.
Nah, I can get it from somebody else.
It's true.
I got a friend named Cody.
There's a lot of people that do like the Netflix shows. There's a couple of them I've watched. House of Cards, I like, everything like that. We talked about The Path earlier. It's a Hulu original. You have to pay the Hulu subscription for that. Hulu's got their live TV service now that you can subscribe to. But yeah, at this point, if you want all this original content, especially all these things that are winning awards, Handmaid's Tale from Hulu,
no,
13 fucking Oscars.
Garbage, though.
Sure.
Garbage.
But there's people that are going to go sign up for Hulu based on the Oscars.
Don't people. And that actually...
Well, no, I mean, subscribe to Hulu. There's good stuff on there. But don't do it because of Handmaid's
That
Tale.
leads to what I was going to say. Disney...
Yeah.
is leaving Netflix. They're breaking up their deal because they're starting their own streaming service. And that was going to lead me to this discussion. Now, I have Hulu. I have Netflix. I want Disney because I have a soul. I fucking want Disney, right?
Paying for that shit.
At what point is cable going to be cheaper than my streaming services? I talked to Comcast, okay? For an extra $12 a month, I can have cable.
Yeah.
And Comcast will let you log into your Comcast account on any computer worldwide and just watch.
Yep.
Free.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then why?
Right. And then you've got, you've got some other options out there other than just cable, but like Amazon, I think 9 months ago, they introduced Amazon Channels, where you got your $100 Amazon Prime yearly subscription. For an extra $6 a month, you can tack on an HBO subscription, and you can access it anywhere in the world, just like you can. So I'm like...
And now Amazon has the new Jack Ryan series starring John Krasinski, which I have to watch. It's John Krasinski. It's Jim from The Office playing Jack Ryan.
Right.
I'm in.
Yeah.
And now they have the exclusive rights to NFL Thursday night.
Yep.
And I don't care about football, but that's fucking huge.
Right. So yeah, it's now... I mean, it's hard because, for years and years and years, we were like, we need to get away from the monopoly that the cable providers have. There needs to be something other than, I don't want 200 fucking channels. Let me pick out my 10 channels I want.
Right.
Great. Well, now we got Sling TV that lets you do that. You've got Amazon that lets you do these add-on channels. You've got Hulu that lets you do these add-on subscription channels now. And now there's almost too many options. Like, part of me is pining for the day 10 years ago where I'm like, yeah, I just pay $50 a month for cable.
Yep.
Done. But now, at this point, I've been watching... Like, I watched Black Sails on Hulu. I actually used Hulu instead of Kodi because I was getting better quality streams.
That's fair.
But, I subscribe to Netflix. I subscribe to Hulu. I subscribe to Amazon Prime. I almost never watch anything through there. They're just kind of my safeguards for, if somebody's like, well, we noticed you're watching this show on Kodi. I'm like, yeah, and I'm paying for access to it, right?
Right.
But, yeah, it's almost too hard to manage now. Which is why I had that spreadsheet.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why we should just go back to rating comic books. Throwing away my TV.
There you go. All right.
That's not true. I'm going to play video games.
Oh no, you have something to video game talk about, right?
I do have video games.
I have a video game thing I saw I want to talk about when we get to that section.
So the first thing I'm going to talk about before the games I want to talk about, because there are 4.
Okay.
I won't talk about them all in length. I want to talk about the realization that Skynet is here.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you hear about the latest Dota tournament? Okay, for those of you who are not familiar, Dota is a the
DOTA. Yeah, Dota.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's a video game that people play online against each other.
It's an MMORPG.
It's the largest ever. In fact, the world champions win somewhere between $2 to $4 million a year for this
ridiculous
game. Right? An AI beat the top 2 players.
Oh, interesting.
Is it? Or is that fucking frightening? The fact that an AI outthought the 2 best players on this game with millions and millions of subscribers.
But I mean, you look at what the fuck was that name? Big Blue, whatever, the chess machine.
Yeah.
Look how long it took somebody to beat that, and you had Grandmaster. I was gonna say Grand Wizard. That's a different game. Still blacks and whites, but different game.
That's only played in Charlotte.
But you had these grandmasters who that was their entire life was playing chess, and they were getting beat by AI. So, I mean, it's not a new concept, but yeah, it is frightening that we can make computers that we can't outthink.
And do you know who made this computer? Who made this all possible?
No, who's that?
Elon Musk.
Oh, really?
Yep, it was his funded AI. You motherfucker. So look at when Stephen Hawking says don't do this, just listen to him. Just listen to him. I'd put on a blue shirt and Stephen Hawking sent me a message, wear blue today. I'd be like, all right, changing shirts. Stephen Hawking said so. With that said, I want to talk about 4 games I played as a human and beat as a human.
Okay.
1, Street Fighter 2 Ultra Pro Edition on my Switch. Amazing. Fucking amazing.
Okay.
Do you remember Street Fighter 2 Pro? or Street Fighter 2 Ultra from 15 years ago.
Well, okay, so I remember Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and then I remember there being Street Fighter 2 Ultra. Is that where like Cammy comes in?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's Turbo with more characters.
Yeah.
So they remastered it for the Switch and then released it. Fucking amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. That's all I have to say about that.
Cool.
Except playing it online, I've started a feud with a couple people.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That feud is then led over to the new Mario Kart as well with a couple of them as well.
Jeez.
Just fine. It's fine. The other game I want to talk about is called Cave Story Plus. It's another game that came out 10 years ago. The original Cave Story. They remastered it for the Switch.
Okay.
$30.
Okay.
$30 for a game that's 10 years old and remastered for the Switch.
That seems kind of hefty.
I'm still okay. I was still in until I bought it and beat it in a weekend.
Ooh, no good.
Great game. Loved it. But not for $30 fucking dollars.
No, it's like a $10 game.
7 hours. Took me 7 hours to beat the fucking game.
Nope. Done.
The other game I purchased is Severed by the same people who make Guacamelee, Drinkbox Games.
Waka?
Guacamelee?
Uh-huh.
Oh, have I never talked about Guacamelee before?
I don't know that you have.
It was a game for the Xbox. It's an independent game where you play a luchador who has died, and you're now going through the underworld fighting skeletons and shit to try to bring your love back to life.
Please tell me like Rey Mysterio makes a cameo.
No, but it is like you get trained by a rooster, you get trained by a bull. You're fighting this. It's fucking amazing game.
Okay.
And it does not take itself seriously. Like, it knows it's a fucking joke.
Sure.
And it's amazing. I loved Guacamelee.
Okay.
So I got Severed. And I didn't know it was by the same company. So as soon as I opened it and it said Drinkbox, I'm like, oh, I'm super in.
Okay.
I'm so in. And Severed is amazing. $15, though.
Okay.
Much better price point.
Absolutely.
And they do run sales where I could have got it for cheaper. But I think these people put out such good games that they deserve as much as I can give them.
Sure.
Because they're an independent studio, so I'm trying to promote them. You play a woman who's in the underworld. You and the family were all murdered.
Okay.
Because these guys are all about like Dia de los Muertos and everything in all their
Sure.
games. So your hand has literally been severed. So you have this one sword, and you're fighting through different planes of demons trying to regain your family's soul. Shit is dark.
Okay.
Like, really dark. So you're cutting limbs off different demons and using them to make different powers for yourself and whatnot. I don't know how else to explain it.
Okay. I mean,
it's a great game.
Sounds like it'd be great after a couple whiskeys.
It's great even without a couple whiskeys.
Okay.
It's a very good game.
Okay.
The last game I'm going to talk about is I got Zelda Breath. That is a really low-flying plane.
Yeah, it is.
Zelda Breath of the Wild.
To be fair, you're going to have to get used to that. Commercial airfare out of Payne Field, you're going to get that all the time.
No, that's a... That is low. Like, you visually saw that's too low.
No, it's going to Payne Field.
I've never heard it like that before.
It's probably a test flight.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm moving then.
All right. Sell the house. Oh. Never mind.
Yeah, I can do that. It's fine.
Okay, so Zelda.
Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
The DLC. Downloadable content.
Okay.
Great. Loved it.
Cool.
That's all I have to say about it. Great.
All
Loved it. Just keep playing that shit out of that game. I've now put in over 145 hours into that game.
I don't know that I've ever put that many hours into any game.
Like, if everybody said, like, that is the epitome of getting your money's worth.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, the epitome of it.
Yeah. So a story I saw yesterday, which I found super interesting. I don't know how interesting you're going to find it, but there's a company, I can't remember the company name, but you guys can Google the shit, that is now putting out a console called the X Station.
Okay.
Did you see this?
I did not.
Okay. So they have merged the Xbox One and the PS4 into one case.
There's a whole lot of weird sounds going on right now.
Are we on the fucking island from Lost right now? Is that what just happened? Is the smoke monster about to come out?
There's 3 guns upstairs. 2 of them are unregistered. Let's just get those and take care of this. There's no reason to delay.
Yeah. The screen door's locked, right? Yeah, all right.
Oh my God! Like that's gonna stop anything. A fucking screen. Jay, you've had too much whiskey. You're cut off.
I had a friend. Sidebar. I had a friend years ago, who anytime we drove through Seattle, she was like, "Oh, you gotta lock the doors and roll up the windows, so if somebody comes up with a gun, they can't get to you." Do you know how guns work?
No.
You know how blunt objects work? Fucking.
Perhaps you don't understand. There's glass there. They can't get through glass.
But no, and that was the thing. So even if the windows were up, we driving down to Seattle, just be like, lock the doors. What if they have a gun? I'm like, what? That is not going to deter anybody.
Locks only keep the honest people out.
Right. Anyways, so the X Station, it's got all of the internal components of the Xbox One and the PS4. And somehow the optical drive connects to both boards. I don't know. But, you've got your AV switches where you can be like source 1, source 2. So the case has that in. So you say, I want the Xbox or I want the PS4.
Here's my question about it. Microsoft routinely checks to see if your system is your system. And if it's not, they shut it down.
But how would they know if you didn't modify the board or anything else? You essentially just took it out of the case.
I don't know. That's what I'm curious. That's what I'm curious about.
There's no actual modification done to the system itself other than taking the case off.
What were they asking for this?
I haven't seen a price yet. I don't know if it's even out for sale yet or if it's like in prototype. But it was a really interesting concept because then you have one console that takes care of all of your games you're playing, unless you're playing Switch or something like that. But for most intensive gamers, they're either going to be a PS4 and or an Xbox One. So it's one console. It's there. Super interesting concept. I'm going to try to follow the news to see if it actually gets to market, and if so, what the cost is.
I'd be curious about that.
I noticed we skipped over movies. Did you not watch any movies?
No, I was actually going to go to movies next.
Okay.
Did you watch any movies?
I watched one movie.
What was your one movie?
I watched The Hitman's Bodyguard.
That doesn't come out till tomorrow.
That is correct, but somehow I watched it last Wednesday.
And was it as amazing as it looks?
There is absolutely zero new about this movie.
No,
there's nothing new. There's nothing
Of course not.
But fucking entertaining as all get out.
That's all I want.
There was at least a dozen points in this movie where I just laughed out loud because of how entertaining what was happening on screen was. I think Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson played off each other very well. They had really good on-screen chemistry. They did their roles really well. It is definitely a movie I would recommend somebody to go see in the theater even.
Interesting. Okay. Because I know it's coming out Friday. I'm intrigued to watch it.
I recommend it.
I wasn't going to go to the theaters this Friday because I bought Alien Covenant. I really want to watch that.
Did you sign up for a service yesterday?
No.
I haven't yet either.
Because I have some news about this service.
Okay.
But before we get to that, let's talk about the movies I did watch.
Cool. What'd you get?
I watched Kong of Skull Island.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Fucking everything I wanted from a King Kong movie.
Really?
Oh, man, yes.
Okay.
What's the best part about a King Kong movie?
Nothing.
Lies. The island. It's when they go to fucking New York and he starts fighting all these weird creatures that shit goes turmoils. When you're just on the island, fucking awesome.
Okay.
This 100% of this movie took place on the island.
Okay. I mean, I would hope so.
Now, with that said, I didn't need Samuel L. Jackson or Tom Hiddleston. Choose one. I don't need both those characters.
Okay.
I definitely did not need Brie Larson.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Literally every time I get Brie Larson and Allison Brie mixed up, and I had to take
I always need Allison Brie.
Yes, and that's why I was like, oh, no, the other one. Okay.
Yeah, I always need Allison Brie. I did not need Brie Larson.
Fair enough.
I would probably watch an hour and a half movie of Allison Brie sitting there. End of story. Just sitting there.
In the Santa Claus suit.
But yeah, if she's going to sing the song, I'd watch 2 hours of it.
Even if she's just sitting there in the suit. Done. I'm good.
But no, Kong of Skull Island was it was a really fun movie. Looked beautiful. They did Kong really well. He didn't have that weird obsession with the girl where he wanted to keep her and everything else. They did add a new twist to it. Kong was not necessarily the villain. He was the last of his kind.
Okay.
Because there's a worse creature on the island.
Oh.
So humans show up to the island, start dropping seismic activity to test the platelets on it and everything else.
Okay.
awaken these ancient creatures.
Okay.
And that's what Kong is fighting.
Okay.
The creatures looked a little silly, but overall, I still thought it was a fun movie to watch.
And at the end, you find out it's actually Iladim, or whatever the Jurassic Park island was.
I wish.
Yeah, right.
You do find out, though, they do mention Godzilla, Mothra, and Ghidra.
Well, and I know they're
yeah, we're gonna have a Godzilla battle for all monsters next.
Yeah. So, all right.
The other movie I watched was Warcraft.
Had you not seen this before?
I did not seen this before.
Who the hell did I go and see that movie with?
It wasn't me.
Must have been. All right, I think I know who it was. I could have swore that I saw that with you.
No.
Okay.
Because I would have noticed that it's the guy who plays Ragnar Lothbrok.
Yes.
Here's the problem I had with this movie.
Everything.
One, he just played Ragnar Lothbrok as an English person, but with the same accent. This movie was...
Yeah, I walked away from this movie very, very disappointed.
Yeah.
I was super excited when it came out because we've probably talked about this at some point in the last 3.5 years. I was very into the original Warcraft games, like Warcraft, like Orcs versus Human, Warcraft 1.
Right.
And then Warcraft 2 and the expansions. And then I played 3, which was bullshit. I've never gotten into the world of Warcraft. But I was really excited because they were bringing in some of the mythology from the first couple. And then I watched it. I'm like, no, fuck that. This is...
I thought it looked nice. I like the way it looked visually. But overall, it just was.
The visual effects were really great. The storyline was really not.
It was not. No.
So...
But I did also watch Halloween 3, 4, and 5.
Wow. Okay.
For those of you who remember these movies, you remember Halloween 3 is horrible. The worst in all the Halloween series because it doesn't even have Michael Myers in it.
No.
4 and 5, great. Love them.
Really?
Yes. It's leading up to 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Arguably one of the best from the original series.
I think I need to go back and watch all these because I don't have such fun memories of them.
Yeah. I think those hold up better than the Nightmare on Elm Streets and the Friday the 13th.
I would agree with that. Yes.
Don't watch the Rob Zombie ones. They're horrible.
Did you ever look into Shudder?
I did. And it had an okay selection, but not for $15 a month.
Oh, I don't know. It was 15. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess when you have Hearst money like Hardwick does, you can drop $15 a month on that, no problem.
Right. And I don't want to add another streaming service for $15 a month.
Like we were saying.
Like we were talking about. Because I can get the Halloween movies. They're $2.99 on Amazon.
Okay. Yeah.
So if I'm only watching one a week, well, that's only $2 a week. That's 4 times 2. That's 8. You know, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. Movie news. I texted you about this earlier today. So
You did?
Yes, about the Justice League movie.
Oh, the reshoots.
Yes,
they're very extensive reshoots.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they were doing reshoots. Scott Snyder was the architect of the DC movies.
Right.
Scott Snyder's daughter died.
Yes.
His daughter died. So Joss Whedon has come in. Now, originally, Whedon was just there to complete the film. Well, now he's going to... He thought Snyder's tone was too dark, and he didn't like a couple of the scenes. So now they're changing some of Scott Snyder's movie to be more Whedon-like. You know what I don't want? Joss fucking Whedon. Why is that dude involved in every single goddamn motherfucking comic book movie known to man?
That's true. Also, I don't think it's Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder's the...
Scott Snyder's that...
He's the writer.
Author. What is this guy's name?
I don't know. Singer? Bryan Singer, maybe?
No, Bryan Singer was X-Men. It is. I'm pretty sure it's Snyder.
It is Snyder.
It's not Scott, though.
No, it's the dude who did Sucker Punch and...
It's the guy who did a couple of the other DC movies.
I'm sticking with... You know...
Fuck it, whatever.
For the sake of argument, Scott Snyder.
Right.
You can be wrong. Well, whatever. The Beard is going to text me as soon as he listens to this and tell me how wrong we were. So
That's
it's
true.
fine. He'll let us know. So, I don't want Joss Whedon involved with everything.
Right.
I already don't think Justice League is going to be great.
No.
I didn't think Wonder Woman was as amazing as it was. Everyone says it was.
Okay.
So, rumor has it the reason Whedon's getting so involved is the Warner Brothers execs referred to the original screen of Justice League as unwatchable.
Which, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Unwatchable.
I mean, to be fair, the trailers I've seen, decent.
Fine enough.
So that makes me wonder what's happening between the scenes in the trailer that's making it so bad.
I don't know. But remember, the Warner Brothers execs also said that they didn't think Wonder Woman was going to do very well.
Right. And the Warner Brothers execs are also the ones that made them do all the changes to Suicide Squad because of the reaction to the trailer.
Right. So who knows?
Yeah.
That's it for me in movies.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
I'm going to skip podcasts. We've been running a little long.
Okay.
2 comic book news before we move on to our actual comic books.
I have one music thing to talk about.
Okay, let's talk about your music real fast.
briefly.
Go ahead.
Because I had quite the experience on Saturday night when I went and saw Rock the Boat 2017 on the Everett waterfront with headliners The Meat Puppets
Okay.
and Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Well, sure. Sir Mix-a-Lot just makes sense.
Yes.
Because he does every B or C concert in the Seattle metropolitan area.
He puts on a great show, even
Does
at
he really?
54.
Really?
It's a great fucking show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. He tells all the little stories between the songs. Like this song's about this. So, do you know the song Hoopty?
Sure.
Okay. He has a song called Hoopty. He's from Seattle, and the song was based on a piece of shit car he bought because of a girl he was dating in Everett, and he had to be able to get up and see her.
Well, sure.
So I'm like, oh, that's cool that, you're in Everett and you're telling the story about how you bought a piece of shit car to get some ass in Everett. Cool. It works out.
To be fair, I feel like you could probably get cheaper ass in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because he was from the Central District, so
Yeah.
probably. But nobody seemed to know who the fuck the Meat Puppets were
No.
and why they were doing covers of Nirvana songs. Do you remember the Nirvana Unplugged album, MTV Unplugged album?
Yes, of course.
So there's the songs Plateau
Yeah.
and Lake of Fire.
Okay.
Yeah, those are Meat Puppet songs that Nirvana covered for that.
Oh, interesting.
So people are like, who the fuck are these, and why are they playing Nirvana? I'm like, no.
Other way around.
Other way around.
Interesting.
So it was interesting to see them. They still put on a good show.
Okay, cool.
But that was my music thing.
No,
that was, and the tickets were free for me, so
that's even better.
I'm good with it. Yeah.
So
All right,
comic news. Sam Humphries is leading Green Lanterns. Only 2 more issues left to go with him.
Good. I'm glad I didn't stop buying because then I would have to buy all this shit between then and now.
I've been buying the trades, and I'm fine with this decision I've made.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Discount Comic Book Services,
Uh-huh.
also in stock trades, who I get all my trades from now.
Their sister site, yes.
Yes.
We really got to get them to fucking sponsor this show.
Well,
Don't
listen to this episode.
Oh.
Please don't listen to this episode. I'm okay. I still love their service.
Okay.
They sent me 3 copies of the same book now in 3 different shipments.
Did you pay for it 3 times?
No, just once. $4.99 once, and I've gotten it 3 times.
Great. So what's the problem here?
I don't want them to hear it and ask for those 2 back. So I'm going to gift them away. I'm going to gift them out. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they never make any mistakes. They only ship you exactly what you order.
That's
They're
right.
Great. Low prices, great discounts on their comics and their trade paperbacks.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Flexible shipping terms.
Mm-hmm.
You can do 1, 2, or 4 shipments.
So I do in-stock trades, so it's $4 for my shipping.
Okay. But it's flat rate shipping. It's $4 no matter how many
No
books
matter
you order.
how many trades I order. So I tend to order 3 trades a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a great deal.
It
So
is.
You're getting up to 60% off of those trades.
Correct. One, because I'm buying in more recent ones,
So there's a less discount.
I'm at 55 to 40.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is still a killer deal.
Oh, absolutely. You're not going to find anywhere else that matches that price.
No, not even.
Not,
That's less than cost for some of my stuff at the store.
yeah.
That's a lie. I have 2 other comic book news things.
Okay.
1, I talked to Matt Hawkins over the weekend,
Okay.
writer of Postal,
Yes.
who informed me how excited he is with the control he has over his Postal TV show that is a Hulu original.
I'm sorry. Is that breaking news right here on
Breaking news right here.
Yeah, because I have not heard that anywhere else.
Yep. Postal Hulu original series. Matt's super excited about the control that they're letting him have when it comes to the story.
I'm super excited about the control they're letting him have.
Right?
Do we know it's probably like very early development stages right now?
It is in early developmental stages. They've greenlit it though. It's been greenlit.
Well, if you need somebody to play the main character, I can be autistic.
I think you could.
I could pull that off.
Yeah. I don't see him at Dragon Con, but I'm seeing him another show coming up.
Okay.
I kind of want to bother him about it some more.
I would.
Right?
Yeah. He's probably... I mean, do you know him well, or was this kind of like a one-off conversation?
Not well enough that we're on like super first names, but there's that facial recognition.
Sure.
But super exciting, right?
Yeah. Which it makes me wonder then, are they going to pick up some of the other books in that shared universe?
Just Postal for right now.
I mean, like eventually. Like, is that going to be like a gateway drug?
Do we see like Tithe and do we see Think Tank?
Yeah. Interesting. All right.
Yeah. The reason, like, I stopped by, said hi, small talk.
Sure.
He was trying to convince me not to buy a trade, but he's like, you know what, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I have it. He's like, what about? I'm like, I have that too. The only thing I don't have is Aphrodite IX. And he's like, well, that's my best-selling book. He goes, but it's probably the worst thing I got.
I was going to say, I've read that. It's not.
But it's his best. I'm like, good. We can ignore that. I'm like, let's talk more about Postal. And he's like, you want to hear some crazy Postal stuff? Listen to this. And then she, bam, told me.
Okay, cool. Interesting.
On the other side.
That's the thing I miss about going to the shows is, like, I don't get to have those random conversations with creators anymore. And Emerald City, going as a guest, I don't, because you're some random guest.
Right.
That exhibitor badge, that kind of gets you a little more in.
It does have that. You know, and it's nice, too, because I don't get to often go to Artist Alley, and I'll name drop right now. I don't give a fuck. It was nice that there were the guys there who gave the recognition. Like Joshua Williamson, the editor-in-chief of Vertigo, the writer of Flash, he's writing some Batman stuff, some upcoming Batman stuff. Walking by, his line was long, but he was talking to some guy, but it was nice that he just did reach out for the Nux as I was walking by, you know?
Nice.
Like, there's that type of recognition that...
Yeah.
And I was walking with somebody else, so it kind of was that nice little, like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Hickman.
That is a name that I recognize.
He is now going to be working with DC, and he's going to be the new architect behind the Legion of Superheroes. I don't
know how I feel about that.
I don't feel good about that.
Because we've talked before. I'm a big fan of Jonathan Hickman's independent work.
Okay.
Some Marvel shit, fucking terrible. He shouldn't have ever written it. But, you know, books like Red Mask from Mars, The Nightly News, Pax Romana,
Black Monday Murders, God Hates Astronaut.
Black Monday. Oh, God, yeah. God Hates
No,
Astronaut?
no, that's not him.
No.
Shoot, East to West? No.
Anyways, his independent stuff I really like. His Marvel stuff, he was doing some Avengers for a while. He did some Fantastic Four. Fucking just leave it on the shelf and walk away.
And that's the problem I have, is that he tries to push the envelope and be too weird, too eccentric, too...
But here's what I'm wondering, though. So, obviously, Fantastic Four, huge book at Marvel at the time. Avengers, their flagship book. Legion of Superheroes at DC, not a flagship book right now. So I wonder if they're going to give him a little bit more freedom in that sandbox.
And that's actually what I'm afraid of, because he loves to do weird, trippy time travel shit. And the Legion's all about time travel. And I don't know how much he's going to fuck with things.
Okay.
And I'm afraid he's going to fuck with things too much.
Okay.
So I'm hesitant.
I'll pick it up and check it out.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to read it. It's the Legion of Superheroes. I'm going to read it.
I mean, typically, I wouldn't pick that up, though. The only Legion of Superheroes that I ever bought was the Supergirl in the...
Legion of Superheroes?
Yeah. That one trade. That's all I ever bought.
There's 2 trades of that, by the way.
I bought one of them.
Got it.
Yeah, the first one.
I had you read that Superman book.
And it was all right.
All right.
But like for me personally, like I wouldn't seek that out to pay for it.
Sure. And this is gonna sound super, super dumb. The thing I like about the Legion is everyone's like, well, they're hokey and they have stupid names and they're silly. That's actually the point, because the Legion takes place in the future and they idolize Superman when he was young.
Yeah.
So back in the 60s, so they try to mimic 60s behavior in language, in names, and morality. And I don't want that fucked with, because that's the whole point of the Legion, is they're trying to mimic Superman from the 60s.
Right.
Not be current and classic and hip and cool. Yeah. That's not the point of them.
Okay, fair enough. What do you got in your stack over there, then?
All right, so this week we have James Bond Killing Chain number 2. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle number 0. It's 25 cents. I'll read it and decide I don't like it. Batman number 29. Also, that's it for my books that are not DC. Just those two. Batman number 29. Right. Nightwing 27, both covers. Super Sons number 7. Superman 29 in his Sinestro Corps uniform.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Trinity number 12. And the book I'm going to talk about is Dark Knight's Metal number 1.
Okay. I got... Oh, real quick before I list this up. I told you I found a really cool comic shop in Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay. And did I tell you I bought all of the Invincible comics that I was missing?
No, you didn't tell me you got them.
So I am current up until the one that came out this week, which I haven't kind of got yet.
Okay.
Fucking crazy shit's going on.
I believe it. I believe it.
I can't wait for you to get that trade so we can talk about it.
Looking forward to it. So did you got Invincible this week?
I did not, because I haven't gone to it, because that's one that I get physically.
Now, I have something for you, Invincible related.
Okay.
Now, it's a deep pull, even for some Invincible fans.
Okay.
But I think you'll appreciate it. I don't care what you do with it. I just saw it. I'm like, I think Jay will appreciate this.
Okay. Science Dog. Wow. That is crazy.
Right? Never seen that before.
No. Also, I don't think Science Dog's been in a comic for a good 6 or 7 years. So you're right when you say that is a deep pull.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Science Dog was a character in... I'm pretty sure he's dead now. But in the Invincible universe, in the Skybound superhero universe, if you read, I want to say, I don't think he makes it past Invincible 100.
I don't think he does. Maybe once.
Yeah.
So when Invincible goes to his comic shop, he talks to this comic clerk about Science Dog.
Yeah.
And Science Dog is the book they make fun of, but they still read it. And in doing so, it's kind of breaking that fourth wall because they're talking about what DC and Marvel does and why Image is different.
Right.
So that's Science Dog, represents the Marvel and DC.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a deep. That's cool, man. Thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I love it. It's Skybound yesterdays. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. So no, I have not got this week. Today's book because.
Yep.
It's literally one of 2 books I get in hard print now. So I'll probably try to find. And the other thing is, there's a lot of shops locally. I won't go to Everett Comics now to buy a book because I feel bad because the way that ended.
Sure.
But most of the shops, they only buy enough copies of Invincible for their subscribers.
It doesn't do great off the shelf, man.
Which is crazy.
It doesn't do well off the shelf.
Because I feel like so many people do pull it. I feel like it's still a pretty big book. And maybe that's just my misconception because I'm so into it. It might be confirmation bias.
Between the 2 stores, we maybe order 11 copies a month.
Really?
At most.
That is crazy
At most.
So yeah, it's hard for me to go find a shop that has it. So that's why when I was in this shop in Atlanta, which I really wish I could remember the name of now so I could give it a plug, but they had the 20 most recent issues on their shelf. And I'm like, that is crazy to me that they would have that much shelf stock when nobody around here has it. So, but yeah, some crazy shit happens between
I believe it.
Where you left off and current. There are some people that are no longer with us.
Of course.
Because we literally have, I think this week's issue is
4 or 5 away, I think.
138 or 139. So yeah, we've got 5 or 6 issues
left.
I did get the, not by intention, this is just all the shop had, the Gwenpool variant cover.
Oh.
Because it's all they had.
Oh.
But it's essentially Adam Eve in the Gwenpool costume.
Right.
So I'm like, it's not so bad. But what I did get this week, all digitally, was Astonishing X-Men number 2, Batman 29, Batwoman number 6, Dark Knight's Metal number 1.
Okay.
Divinity number 0.
I didn't get my copy in, but I ordered it.
Okay. I almost feel like I shouldn't have. We'll talk about that though.
Oh.
Gotham City Garage number 1.
Oh, but you're better than that.
99 cents.
Because it's a digital only, so you got a third of a comic.
Well, it's a digital first.
So you got a third of a comic.
Yeah. Green Arrow number 29, Green Lanterns number 29, Nightwing 27, Trinity number 12, and X-Men Blue number 9.
Okay. So did you read Dark Knight's Metal?
I did. I read everything that I just read off.
Can we talk about this, please?
Yeah.
How do you feel about this being the huge summer event?
I don't understand what the event is.
Okay.
I left this book very confused.
Did you read the casting or the forge?
No, I didn't. You talked about casting, and then I didn't hear anything about forge.
So let me ask you this. Did you read Batman R.I.P. by Grant Morrison?
Sure did.
So that's all this fucking book seems to be about.
A little bit, yeah.
So as we find out, Barbatos, the Bat God that Bruce Wayne, when he got teleported back from Final Crisis, encountered.
That's what that was. I missed that connection. Because R.I.P. was in 2006.
Yeah, we're going back to that.
Okay.
So Barbatos was the Bat God that Bruce encountered when he went back, and then Bruce turned his back on. He wasn't going to go that way. He went a different way.
Okay.
So now we find out that the name Wayne is a lineage back to Barbatos and all this shit.
Explain to me how Wayne is a derivative of wagon. That made no fucking sense to me.
I don't know, man.
Like, what language is that derivative in?
And then the Red Tornado is kind of a dick in this.
Yeah.
And then the end. The last page thoroughly pissed me off. The introduction of Morpheus, the Sandman from Vertigo, into DC Comics.
Yeah.
I could give less of two fucks. I thought the book was...
So I added this to my cart on Comixology.
Okay.
With the mentality that if I went and looked at my total and it was kind of more than I wanted to spend, this is the number one book being struck.
Fair. Totally fair. Especially at $4.99.
Yeah.
Especially at $4.99.
And exactly. And then I added everything there. It was like 11 books. And I'm like, no, it's $38. That's not that big of a deal. I wish I had struck this. I am not buying issue 2 of this bullshit. I'm pissed that all these books that I read tie into this event.
So, tied into this event, let's go through the checklist for the Dark Knights Metal. Dark Knights The Forge, The Casting, Metal, Teen Titans, Metal 2, Red Death, Nightwing, Murder Machine, Suicide Squad, Dawnbreaker, Green Arrow, Metal number 3, The Drowned, The Merciless, The Flash, The Devastator, Justice League, Lost, Hal Jordan, Who Laughs, Justice League, Metal number 4, Found number 1, and Metal 5, Metal 6. So not only do we have 6 issues of Metal, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 one-shots to accompany it.
And at least 5 of the books I read regularly have tie-ins. Which means when I go to read those issues, I'm not going to know what the fuck's going on.
Yep.
I have the same problem going on with X-Men Blue right now. It's tied into the whole Secret Empire event. I don't know what the fuck's happening because every issue takes place after 4 other issues that I haven't read. I don't know what new tie-in is, some weird mutant reservoir or refugee city. I don't know why Zorn is suddenly a bad guy again. After...
Zorn's back?
Yeah.
Oh,
he was back in the X-Force or whatever, the Magneto-led team before this. We saw him as a pacifist monk.
Right.
And now all of a sudden he's a bad guy. And we find out he's under the control of Emma Frost. But I'm like, I don't understand what's happening in this book because I'm not reading Secret Empire. I'm not reading Captain America. I'm not reading all this stuff. So I finish X-Men Blue number 9 today on Comixology, and it says, next book in story arc is the next Captain America comic. I'm like, why do I have to read fucking Captain America to know what's happening in X-Men? Oh. And I feel like this is going to be the same thing where I'm not going to know what's happening in Flash. I'm not going to know what's happening in Titans. I'm not going to know what's happening in Batman because I'm not going to read this shit after this this issue.
So I have a couple problems with exactly what you're saying. So this ties in to Flash, and it ties into Green Lantern. Meanwhile, in Green Lantern, he's off Earth right now doing other stuff with the New Gods, which they showed the map of the multiverse on this, which I thought was super fucking stupid.
So did you read that issue then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fucking terrible. Oh, if you look at the back of the map, there's a dark matter universe that we didn't know anything about.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I will not be buying this in a single issue. I just can't seem to care.
No.
Meanwhile, I've been reading a lot of Image trades, and they are fucking killing it.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this week is not very representative of it, but most weeks, the heavy amount, or the majority of my comics are Image comics.
Which is funny, because I buy a lot of single issues from DC. Most of my trades are coming from Image.
Okay.
I also spent some time with Jim Zub. Speaking of Image, Zubby.
What? I'm reading a book that he's writing. I can't remember which one it is.
Wayward?
No.
Glitter Bomb?
No.
So,
anyways,
he wrote Glitter Bomb, which is funny. I'll now tangent on my Zub news. Which, by the way, Zub and I had a great conversation over a fucking amazing burger.
Okay.
Great burger. It was an ancho chili.
Oh.
It was good.
Is this Boston or is this San Diego?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Zub was telling me that he wrote Glitter Bomb as a direct response to him leaving DC Comics.
Okay.
Because he was supposed to write The Birds of Prey for
Right.
52 and Rebirth, and he got burned. So he left, and then he didn't want to work with Marvel anymore anyway. So that is his story about what it's like to work for the big two.
Interesting.
So that was funny.
Okay.
There is a company that creates animes.
Okay.
They have been purchased by Netflix to create anime exclusives for Netflix.
Interesting.
They are going to do Wayward.
Oh, okay.
His book as an anime.
Oh,
exclusive.
that reminds me. You know what we haven't talked about because we haven't recorded since the news came out is Millar World being purchased by Netflix.
Huge, by the way.
Fucking ridiculous.
Huge.
So for those of you who don't know, Millar World, it's Mark Millar's, I guess, publishing house. I mean, none of it comes out under Millar World. It comes out under...
Well, it comes out Marvel co-production with Millar World.
Yeah.
Or
So,
Image co-production with Millar World.
But you look at titles Kick-Ass...
Wanted,
which was a movie.
Yeah, but the book is so different. From
Yeah.
It's like not even the same. Kingsman,
that's the other big one. That's
Reborn,
Empress,
all the Jupiter's stuff.
Legacy, Jupiter's. That's all Millar. So Netflix now owns the rights to all of that.
Yeah.
Which I haven't found yet if they own the retroactive rights to the movies that have already been put out.
Like Kingsman?
Like Kingsman and Wanted.
Or the Kick-Ass movies. 2 Kick-Ass movies.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. But so now Netflix owns these stables of stories. So they could make a movie based on Newman. They can make a show based on Newman.
Yep.
But it's kind of one of the first big examples of like I don't want to say independent. A publishing house, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not it's not DC, it's not Marvel, but it's like studio. It's
Okay.
a comic studio. It's
that's
the
a
first
great
example of
way
a
for it.
comic studio being purchased by an entertainment entity. Which makes me wonder, you've got all these other studios now, or artist collectives. You've got Four Horsemen out of Kansas City. You've got a couple of these other ones that they have big stories coming out for Image, for Vertigo, or not Vertigo, Image, Boom. These
Top Cow, all
whatever.
these, yeah.
Are those going to start getting actually purchased by? Is Comcast going to go start purchasing studios?
Why wouldn't you though? Like you already have enough source material for seasons and seasons of entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
So
the book you want to talk about?
So I will real quickly. I'm going to talk on Divinity Zero, and then I'll go to Gotham City Garage. I don't know why the fuck I paid money for Divinity Zero. It is literally a recap book. The only new information that you see is on the last page, where you find out that Divinity, the guy Divinity.
Sure.
And Mishka, which was the female astronaut, which was Divinity 2.
Was she 2 or 3?
She was 2, because then the third guy ended up being 3.
Oh, right,
and
yeah,
that's when we get Stolenverse and all that. So the male and the female, Divinity 1 and 2, they end up together, and the last panel you find out she's pregnant. That is literally the only new information in that. Otherwise, it's all him narrating, this is what happened, I was an astronaut, and then she was an astronaut, and there's a third astronaut. Here's Ninjak, here's so-and-so, here's so-and-so. So it's a recap of the Divinity story, gratuitous appearances by other Valiant characters, and then you find out that she's pregnant at the end. And I paid $3 for that.
Okay.
And there's nothing saying that there's going to be another Divinity story. Like, that's it. That was a standalone issue.
There has to be more to come, right?
Eventually, sure, but they don't seem to have any plans for it right now.
I think it's been solicited in previews.
Really?
I think. We can check the previews after this.
So.
We can check previews after this.
And then the other thing I read that I want to talk about real quick is Gotham City Garage.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So it's a digital first. So it is, like you said, it's a shorter story. I didn't realize it at first. It's still technically 22 pages. But each page is a
transitional
full page panel.
Yeah.
Whereas on a normal comic page, you'll have 3, 4, 5, 6 panels, whatever. You'll have your layout. This is just each page is a panel. So it takes place slightly in the future. I don't think it's canon DC universe.
It is not.
Okay. So it's following the story of Lex Luthor becomes president or dictator of the world, whatever. The world pretty much goes to shit, and now there's one city remaining under a dome, and it's Luthorville or whatever the fuck he calls it. But everybody's kind of like under a fascist rule. Jim Gordon is there, and then so is Kara Gordon, which is Supergirl.
God damn it.
But in this alternate universe, Jim Gordon's the one that finds her. She's not raised by whoever the flavor. Well, yeah, whoever the flavor of the week is that time. There's references to Barbara Gordon, but she's not in the picture anymore. Kara does not realize that she has powers because in this dome, it's powered by an artificial red sun. So she doesn't get the powers from the yellow sun. So in this issue, Jim Gordon finds out that people are coming for her. So he tells her to run and go outside the dome to the sun, and she breaks out of the dome. Goes under the yellow sun for the first time in her life, finds out she can fly.
Oh, it takes a lot longer than that for yourselves to build up the yellow sun.
I know.
Okay.
And then you get Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Silver Banshee, and Big Barda show up on motorcycles. They've been living outside of the dome. And that's where the issue ends. So it's an Elseworld story, definitely. I'll probably keep reading it because it's 99 cents an issue.
It's not an Elseworld story.
But it's not Elseworlds, but it's not canon.
So, do you know where DC Bombshells came from? The comic book?
No. The statues.
They came from statues.
Yeah.
Do you know
this
where
is based on statues?
It's based on the Garage Series statues.
So yeah, it's not Elseworlds, but it's not canon. So
It's-
it might as well be Elseworlds.
I can't believe you bought that.
99 cents. I'm sorry, what did you buy for 25 cents?
Sheena number 0. I didn't buy it. It was 25 cents. They just gave it to me.
Okay. I might as well have just been given this for 99 cents.
It's always the pretty ones that hurt you the most, Jay.
I know, right?
That
Story of my life.
That is it for me this
That's
week.
all I
can't
got.
even talk
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm
I will
done.
see you guys next
All
week.
right.
Goodbye, Garage City.